This video contains spoilers for various Star Wars comics, books, TV shows, and movies. One of the biggest factors in the eventual takedown of the Empire's most valuable weapon was a spy network called Fulcrum. Ahsoka Tano had escaped the Great Jedi Purge and was in hiding on an outer rim planet called Raeda. The Empire had just started to inhabit these backwater planets, especially ones like Raeda, who were easily exploited for their farmlands and natural resources. Ahsoka only wanted to hide and protect herself from being discovered, as the Jedi were still being hunted down and killed, but it didn't take long for her to see what the Empire was doing to this small moon and its people. She was able to organize the locals into a small insurgency, fighting back against the Empire's tyranny. During one mission, their plan turned into an all-out battle. Ahsoka, who had completely avoided using the Force in public, had to reverse that decision to save some of her friends. Back on Alderaan, Bail Organa got wind of this insurgency on Raeda through a report from a small intelligence network he had just started, but the last sentence in this report stopped him dead in his tracks. Confirmed Jedi activity. He sent out 2 pilots that he knew he could trust. He told them what to look for, what ship was seen, and they set out to track this Jedi down. They found the ship and used their tractor beam to pull it in. As they approach the ship, Ahsoka steps out. Before the 2 can even get 2 words out, she knocks them both unconscious. Not knowing who they were or what they wanted, only that they decided to use a tractor beam before any contact, she rushed to the bridge to disable the beam so she could get away. But on her way, she runs into R2-D2. He tells her about a senator that he was helping and that the 2 people were just trying to find her, not to capture her. She has the little droid release the tractor beam, but also has him send a signal to Bail with the coordinates to her ship. After Ahsoka leaves, the 2 pilots return to Bail, where he sees a recording of the engine room. He catches a glimpse of Montreal sticking up above some cargo. He realizes that it's Ahsoka Tano. He boards the ship and makes his way to the coordinates and finally finds the former Padawan. He tells Ahsoka that he's organizing a rebellion and recruiting people to help in the fight. Ahsoka at this point is still traumatized from the Clone Wars, suffering from all that she's seen and done. Her first reaction is to tell him no, that she's seen enough war and killing. But after some non-aggressive negotiations, Ahsoka agrees to help, but only if he will assist her on her mission to save some of her friends on Raeda. Of course, Bail agrees. Ahsoka heads back to Raeda, rescues her friends, and helps fight the Imperials who were on the moon. Bail sent along a few A-Wings for the fight, as well as some transport ships to evacuate as many locals as they could. He was able to smuggle the refugees to Alderaan, where they could start over. Now that Ahsoka is officially part of the rebellion, Bail asks her about her role. Ahsoka decides she wants to take over the intelligence network that he had started, providing Bail an extra layer of protection to make it that much harder for him to be traced to the rebellion. She didn't want to recruit, although if she found people along the way, she could definitely make it work, but she wanted to listen to what the people needed, to see who needs help, and to give missions to agents and cells and help them accomplish it. He asks Ahsoka what she would like to be called so that her identity could be kept a secret. She replies, Fulcrum. Now, Fulcrum was the name of a subspace radio frequency Anakin Skywalker used during the Clone Wars. Ahsoka led the rebel cell known as the Spectres, led by Hera Syndulla. They were part of a larger cell called the Phoenix Squadron, who were instrumental in saving Lothal, destroying the TIE Defender factory, and sending Grand Admiral Thrawn to unknown space via some helpful Purrgil. The Fulcrum agents were to remain anonymous, only using an avatar. The symbol of the Fulcrum agents was the same markings of the face of Ahsoka. The agents were also commanders, as they investigated Imperial activity and gave missions to their subordinates. They also directed forces and oversaw associated cells. The use of Fulcrum as a single codename allowed for the confusion of Imperial intelligence operations if an individual was to ever be caught. Now, there are only 3, as of now before the Andor series, agents that we know of: Ahsoka, Agent Alexander Kallus, the former Imperial officer under Thrawn, and Cassian Andor. Cassian, of course, was instrumental in recovering the plans to the Death Star on Scarif, and well, you know the rest. Speaking of the Death Star, click here to see why it's the worst idea the Empire ever had, and may the Force be with you.